All right, so we've all dealt with invasive weeds like dandelion, of course, in our gardens. Other weeds, such as kudzu. Kudzu here is known as the vine that ate the South. It's infected over 1 million hectares in the US and is spreading at 150,000 hectares a year. Water hyacinth is another critical weed. In Lake Victoria in Africa, it's infected over 95% of the lake. In India, it's reducing irrigation by about 90%, and it's reduced fishing catch rates by about 50%. So what we've developed, by the way, I'm Chris Tuttle, and what we've developed, is a RNAi-based herbicide platform called StemShock. So RNA interference is a fairly complicated new technology that's come into play in human health. We're spinning this towards herbicides so that we can pick out a single invasive weed or crop weed from a farm or a garden or a park or a waterway and leave everything else unharmed. The basic process is that instead of targeting proteins like a bunch of other chemical herbicides, we target the RNA, which causes the protein production to drop down. We've got a patent pending both on a specific process for developing a species-specific herbicide as well as for a unique mode of action. Our competition, right? Conventional herbicides are the biggest ones, things like Roundup and 2,4-D. Their biggest problem is that they kill very broadly, including in waterways and sensitive ecosystems, so they're not appropriate for an awful lot of use cases. It's also true that consumers are increasingly fearing them and heading towards other solutions such as organic or non-GMO crops. StemShock is safe for use in organic and GMO-free environments as it doesn't produce any genetically modified organisms. It also breaks down in the environment in about 2 hours, meaning it leaves no residue in waterways. StemShock's technology has been proven in the lab over a 2-year commercialization project supported by the Canadian government. They're now on board with a contribution to support a commercialization phase, where we will be spinning it out for dandelion, kudzu, and water hyacinth. We're picking another 7 weeds for this project to support right now and could really use partners in helping us identify the most dangerous markets. We recently won a $20,000 prize from BC for the best new company in forestry, agriculture, or mining, as well as a membership to the Foresight Clean Tech Accelerator, which has started to help us right now in developing our product. We're pursuing a licensing model. Even though we are heading for regulatory and field trials ourselves, we do intend to eventually license to companies who are capable of quickly getting this out into the large markets, right? Especially in North America and the European Union. We're searching for a social partner to help bring this to India as quickly as possible for water hyacinth control, where it is killing people every day. The team is myself and my co-founder, Lane Woodfin. We're both scientists, and so I've drawn the business development straw here. Sam Mercer is on contract for a lot of extra business development, and as I said, the Foresight Clean Tech Accelerator, Gowlings, and Reed Pope. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time, and see me after. Word.
So 2 quick questions. So one is, can you describe, is it a pretty standard delivery mechanism like you see other kind of pesticides?
Right.
But the other one I did want to ask is that, is the strain or technology you have, is it strain specific, like specific to a weed, or is it broad based on categories?
Right, so we have a platform including a custom process for programming to kill any individual weed. So the mode of action is very generic to plants. It's based on programmed cell death, and so we basically convinced the plant that it's been infected by a bacteria causing the plant to kill itself, which involves no toxic molecules. Delivery is very standard and compatible with existing Roundup or 2,4-D or other spray applications. The biggest problem with competition that's doing RNAi pesticides is to get RNA systemically delivered, so to have it last in the plants for a long time. We don't need to worry about that because StemShock kills all tissues that it comes in contact with. The goal is not to have it hang around in the plant.
I wonder, what is the cost of this new technology compared to existing pesticides?
Yeah, thank you. So our active ingredient is RNA, which is everywhere and can be produced through fermentation, just like beer. And so that's our goal, is to produce it in fermentation equipment, which is already pre-built. This is fantastic because it doesn't require a new chemical synthesis factory anywhere, and it can be distributed, localized as necessary. The cost, we haven't done a lot of estimates on the cost, but we found other people who are estimating costs on RNAi pesticides, and they're coming down to between $5 and $10 an acre, which is actually cheaper than existing herbicides usually.
So I think when any new sort of pesticide-like system is rolled out, there's a lot of promise of how it's going to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
Have you begun to imagine what the potential ripple effects of this solution could be. You said it breaks down in the environment. What are you guys doing to ensure that it's not going to have negative effects like many of these other pesticides?
Right. So, I mean, the quick breakdown in the environment is really important. RNA is also, it's a food, right? So you can buy it as a nutritional supplement off Amazon. It's quite overpriced there, so don't. But, yeah, and so it's incredibly safe that way. We also have other companies who are doing the forerunning for us in RNA pesticide applications. RNA interference is also gaining a lot of traction in human health. So there are drugs coming onto the market now that are based in RNA that are helping cure cancers or viral infections such as hepatitis. And so we don't have to necessarily lead the front on watching for potential negative effects, but we can watch for the positive ripple effects. The biggest thing being that there's only about $20 billion a year being spent on herbicides, but the damages from invasive species are much, much higher. A lot of these invasive weeds are going uncontrolled. They've been called an invisible tax on our environment, costing up to 1% of our total economy. 12 seconds?
Great, with no more questions.
Yeah, talk to me after if you need to figure out more about how it works. And thank you.
Thank you, Chris.